In this video, we're going to answer this very common question. Am I cut out for singing? Do I have what it takes? So after watching this video, you will know exactly what you really need if you want to become a singer. And it might not be what you think, so stick around. If you're new to this channel, hi, I'm Jimena Cabrera. I am a singer, a songwriter, a vocal coach, and a founder of the Singing Panda, a singing academy where we help you develop your voice holistically, that is mentally, emotionally, and technically, and to help you build a voice that really reflects who you are, your authentic self, and it helps you express the message that wants to come through you. So in order to answer this question, am I cut out for singing? I'm going to share with you a real life story. This is a story of a student of mine, a former student of mine, who after taking lessons with me for a month or so, decided to quit, decided to not take any more lessons. And he sent me a heartfelt message, an email, explaining to me why he was deciding not to move forward with his training. Today, I'm going to share with you, not this email. I want to be respectful of my students' privacy, but I am going to share with you my reply to this email. And so the idea is that from this situation, we're going to understand, it's going to become very clear for you what is the most important trait that a singer needs in order to become a singer. So let me explain to you a little bit more about the situation of this student. This student came to me wanting to start a YouTube channel where he could upload covers of songs. So he decided to start to take singing lessons to reinforce his technique. He had never taken singing lessons before in his life. So of course, in the beginning lessons, we started to work on technique, how to breathe, how to make his singing more comfortable. But at the same time, while he was taking singing lessons, he started to understand the complexity of what he wanted to do. At the beginning, when you are in the awareness stage, when you are beginning to take singing lessons, we call it at the Singing Panda the awareness stage, where you suddenly become aware of so many things that prior to taking singing lessons you didn't know. You start to understand how to breathe, you start to understand how important your posture is, and so many more things regarding singing technique, right? So that part of the training can be a little bit tough because suddenly you are aware of a lot of things, but you cannot quite yet put them to practice because they need a lot of focus on your part. So just to give you an example, now you know that you have to breathe a certain way, that you have to use deep breathing. When you're singing, we talked about deep breathing in one of my previous videos in this channel, so I might wanna, I would probably leave a link so that you can check it out if in case you don't know what deep breathing is. So we talked about deep breathing, we talked about posture, how important posture was, right? And so when he started to want to add this technique to his cover songs, he started to struggle a little bit, and understandably so, because it takes time for you to be able to apply technique. And so suddenly he felt that he had a lot of knowledge, new knowledge about what he was supposed to be doing when he was singing, but he was not actually able to apply it, right? So that is very common when you begin taking singing lessons. And actually, I tell this to my students, just take one step at a time and try not to get overwhelmed, because you're going to have more information that you can actually apply, right? But on the other hand, he was also experiencing a little bit of apprehension because he was learning to record himself. He had never recorded himself. So he had to record himself. This was new for him. So he bought new gear. He was learning how to use it to record his voice at home. And he also at the same time found out that when you upload songs, for example, if he wanted to use a karaoke track in order to sing over, right, and to make a cover, you may have experience some copyright issues, right? So he found that, and this was new information for him, and so he said, okay, so instead of me being able to upload a karaoke track, I will need, if I want to record this specific song that I want to record, I will need to hire someone, maybe a musician, or find a way to create a track that's so that I don't have any copyright issues on YouTube, right? And and he was also struggling with other types of insecurities. He started to tell me that he was not sure if he looked good on camera, and he was wondering whether he had a chance, whether his channel will grow, because he didn't think that his looks, that the way he looked would be appealing for an audience. So he started suddenly to have all of these question marks in his head. How do I record? What kind of karaoke track can I use? Is this going to be expensive for me to, if I can find a karaoke or maybe create a karaoke with AI? How do I mix it with my voice? I don't know how to mix. So suddenly he had all of these question marks, and he didn't really have yet an answer, a clear answer to how to go about doing all of these things. They felt like challenges, right? And of course, I was willing to help him and to guide him through, right? But he felt that it was too much, right? And he had only started taking singing lessons on top of all of the information that felt like this new information that he had. He was also trying to cope with the new information that he was giving in lessons. And of course, I was trying to make him feel more at peace, and to help him understand that this would take a while, that maybe he had this expectation that he could right away start to upload songs, and that maybe for him in his specific situation this would take a little bit longer, but that if he gave himself a chance to experiment a little bit, he would be able to start to upload songs. Maybe not in the immediate future for him, but if he waited a little bit more, a couple of months more, right? So this was the situation, but unfortunately, he decided not to continue to take lessons and to quit the project altogether, right? So this is what the situation looked like, and this is the reply, what I'm going to read to you right now. I'm going to put it on the screen. So I said at the beginning, it's clear you've been navigating a lot of complex emotions and real challenges. And I want to say first and foremost, I see you and I completely understand, which is true, because if I had to name here, enumerate actually all the challenges that any artist actually has to overcome, there are a lot of things that do not necessarily have to do with technique, but have to do with how to overcome things that have to do with self-esteem, and things that have to do with more with your emotions or your own perception of yourself. And there's so much that you have to unravel sometimes when it comes to daring to sing in front of others and to call yourself an artist and to start to do your own thing and post music online. So it's very common. So the minute that he started to tell me that he had all these issues, of course I understood, of course, because I know and I have worked with a lot of artists, and I am an artist myself, and so I know how it feels. So of course I could completely understand what he was going through. If it helps to hear what you're feeling right now, the self-doubt, the frustration, the uncertainty around how you are perceived, and the technical barriers, it's something every artist goes through at some point, truly myself included, and this is true, 100%. It took me years to feel confident in my own skin and in my own voice. Again, true. I started taking singing lessons as a teenager, And I had to go through several teachers before I found one who really helped me grow. That was the first big challenge for me, finding the right teacher, the teacher who could take me where I wanted to go and who could really teach me technique. It took me years to find, and actually I had to travel to a city other than mine. Now I continue and explain this in the email. Then for 10 years, yes, 10 years, I travel from my town, La Plata, to Buenos Aires every single week, 2 hours each way on a bus for a 45-minute lesson, because online lessons didn't exist back then. It wasn't easy, but it was totally worth it, and it shaped who I am today. So, yes, this is what it takes to be able to sing. And of course, it varies from person to person, but it takes years. If you want to be a professional singer, it takes years for you to develop your voice. And it took me 10 years with this specific teacher. I have been training with other teachers before. So it takes time. It takes time and the decision to not quit when things get difficult, because there will be obstacles. There will always be obstacles, but there's something in you that makes you want to keep going, because you know that you want to find out how it feels to sing freely. And so this was my own personal story. If you ask someone else, they may have a different story. But anyway, I was sharing this with him so that he understood that he was not alone, and that that it takes time to nurture one's voice and artistic identity. So it's completely okay to feel lost and to feel like you don't know what's the right way to go, and that it was okay if it took time, right? Essentially, I'm not sharing this to convince you to keep going if right now your path is pulling you in a different direction. I fully respect your decision and where you are. But I wanted to share this part of my journey because what you're facing isn't a sign that you're not cut out for this. And I want to stop here. So this is what I want to say to you as well, right? And this is what I felt like saying to my student. So it's very common for learners to sometimes interpret difficulty as a sign that they are not cut out for what they are doing. And that's not true. There is going to be difficulty, there is going to be challenge, and you're going to grow as a result of that. And you're going to become the artist that you want to be because of that challenge that you are able to face, right? And those obstacles are going to keep coming no matter where you are in your journey. There's going to be something more that's going to make you want to have to actually stretch a little bit further. And so that's how we learn, right? But I was trying to help him understand that, because I could sense that he was feeling that he was not cut out for what he wanted. And I could see how passionate he was. And so my desire in writing this had to do with him, letting him know that there would always be challenges, and that I had also experienced challenges myself. But that does not mean that you're not in the right path. It's just that you need to keep going. So I say again, I wanted to share this part of my journey because you're not because what you're facing isn't a sign that you're not cut out for this. It's just part of the process. Just part of the process. Creating something meaningful takes time, patience, and resilience. Not just technical training, but emotional and mindset work too. That's why I emphasize those aspects so much in my lessons because they matter. You know that at Singing Panda we work a lot on, like I said at the beginning, on your mindset and your emotions because of this, because they matter a lot. If I could leave you with one insight that took me years and a lot of soul searching to realize, it's this. The biggest thing standing between me and my dreams wasn't the algorithm or copyright systems or lack of resources. It was me. Once I figured that out, everything shifted. There's always a way. There's always a way. Always. If it's something that you truly, truly want. All right. And I continued a little bit more and, just saying that if he wanted to ever come back, that I'd be right there. And anyway, so based on what you just heard, what would you say is the thing that makes you be cut out for singing? Some people say that it is talent, but I truly, truly, truly think that it's not talent at all. Everything can be learned. Everything can be learned. You can train your voice. What is the thing, based on what we saw today, that will make you a singer in the end? So here is the question, that if you answer with a resounding yes, then it means that you are cut out for singing. Are you ready? Here it goes. Am I willing to stay in the process long enough to grow? After teaching students from all over the world for more than 10 years now, I can confidently tell you this. The students who improve the most are not the ones who are typically considered gifted or talented. They are the ones who stay.